guys, so today I'm going to show you a very cool trick that could be considered as a magician fooler. We'll see if you guys get fooled or not, that's up to you. But here we go. We have this deck of cards over here. I will take it out of the box. And for this trick, we need the cards to be shuffled by a spectator who knows how to riffle shuffle. Now, of course, if the spectator doesn't know how to riffle shuffle, I could do the shuffling myself, but if the spectator knows how to shuffle, that would be great because I want this trick to be in their hands. So they take the deck, I ask them to give the cards a quick riffle shuffle, just like this, okay? And you can cut the cards as well. Do you want to give it another riffle shuffle? They say yes, okay, so they shuffle it again, and they cut the cards again. So you guys can see, right, completely shuffled, mixed up deck. And actually, I tell the spectator to continue cutting the cards in their hands, just like this. And I'll turn my head away so I'm not looking, but they can cut the cards wherever they like, and at any moment they can stop and then take a look at the top card of the deck. So I will turn my head, but this is the top card of the deck. I hope that you guys can see that. And once they remember the top card of the deck, I tell them to just take that card, bury it somewhere in the middle, and then continue cutting the cards, just so that you have no idea where that card ends up in the deck. So once the spectator has done that, they can set the deck down on the table. Okay, so everything is completely fair. They've just shuffled the deck multiple times, cut the cards wherever they wanted, remembered a card, put it in the middle, cut the cards a bunch more times. So there's absolutely no way where you would know where the card is or where I would know where the card is. So I'm gonna try to read your mind. I'm gonna try to tap into my senses to try to get a sense of what the card you're thinking of might be. Now, first, I like to get the color first. So think of the color. I'm getting a sense, ooh. It wasn't a red card, was it? No, it was a black card. Yes, I'm sensing on that. Now, okay, now I think for the value, I'm gonna count from ace to king. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. Okay, interesting. I think it might be a higher card or, oh, actually, no, I think it might be a lower card. Here, one more time. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ooh, I think I already passed it. Yes, it's a lower card. Okay, I think I know exactly actually which card you picked, and I'm gonna go with this one right over here. So, tell me, was your card the 5 of spades? And I hope that was your card. Completely shuffled deck. Spectator could have chosen any card, and yeah, very, very fair. So that's the trick, guys. I hope you were fooled, and if you were, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. While this trick looks extremely fair and extremely fooling, the method is actually very, very deceiving and surprisingly very simple as well. Anyways, let's get right into how this actually works. So this is going to be the setup for the deck that you're going to need. You're going to need to prepare the entire deck of cards for this. This is not an impromptu card trick, but the setup is very, very quick. It doesn't really take super long. It'll take you maybe 2 minutes to set up. All you're gonna wanna do is separate all 4 suits. So you have all the spades, the clubs, the hearts, and the diamonds. And then what you're gonna do is set them up in numerical order. So all the cards going from ace to king, but then you're just gonna choose any 2 of the suits, one of the black and one of the red, and you're just gonna reverse them so that it's going from king to ace instead. So I just chose the clubs and the diamonds to do that with, but the choice is yours as to which suits you'd like to do that with. All that matters is you just set them up like this, and then you place one on top of the other. So you have either the black on top of the red or the red on top of the black. So the starting position of the trick will look just like this. And you can put this in the box and then you're ready to go. So once you are ready to start the trick, you walk up to a spectator, and you preferably would like to choose a spectator that knows how to riffle shuffle a deck of cards properly. But if your spectator does not know how to riffle shuffle a deck of cards, it's completely fine if you are the one doing the riffle shuffle, as long as you show them that it's fair. And I'll even include a little tip in just a moment of how to make it look extra fair. But essentially, the principle of how this card trick works is very, very simple and very, very clever. Basically, a riffle shuffle, while it looks very fair and like it mixes up a deck of cards a lot, it actually does not mix up a deck of cards as much as you might think. A particular stack of cards in order, it will just sort of scatter them throughout the deck. And that's the principle that we're gonna play with here. Basically, we have the entire deck in order, and all that's gonna happen is through these 2 riffle shuffles, the order will remain intact, but everything will just kind of be scattered throughout the deck and interlaced within each other. So let's say you walk up to a spectator You ask them, do you know how to riffle shuffle? They say yes. So you ask them to give the cards a riffle shuffle. So they're gonna give the cards one riffle shuffle, which will result in the deck looking something like this. It will be shuffled, but if you were to look through the cards right now, you would definitely see this order. You would definitely notice that the cards are being particularly stacked in a numerical ascending or descending order here. So don't have them look quite yet. But the best part about this trick is that you can actually have them cut the cards as well. So they can give the cards a quick cut, and then you have them riffle shuffle again. And you do want them to riffle shuffle twice, just because it will make the trick extra fair. So they shuffle twice, just like this. And then you ask them to give it another cut. Now, of course, if you were the one doing the riffle shuffles, I would include this tip just to have the spectators have some hands-on experience with this trick. If I were the one doing the riffle shuffles, I would give the cards a riffle shuffle, but I would not push them in all the way. I would leave them sort of shuffled like this, but then I would place them on the table and spread the cards out. And then I would have the spectator push the cards in themselves just so that they can actually see and feel the cards being mixed. And then they will actually believe you that you're not doing any type of false shuffle or anything like that. But that's only if you're the one shuffling the cards. If the spectator is the one shuffling the cards, then you're completely fine. So once the spectator has done 2 riffle shuffles, you now instruct them to just start cutting the cards as many times as they wish, like this. And you can turn around for this part. You don't have to be looking. But as long as they cut the cards, complete the cut, you tell them to stop at any point that they want to, and then take a peek at the top card. So they're going to take a peek at the top card. In this case, we have the 6 of diamonds. And then you tell them to put the card back and then to lose that card anywhere in the middle of the deck. Now, what this is doing is it's going to be taking their card and it's going to be removing their card from the sequence of ascending or descending value. And you will very, very easily notice this card is out of sequence when you take a look through the cards in just a moment. So you tell them to lose that card in the middle and then to continue cutting the cards so that they will have no idea where that card ends up. So once they've done that, they can set the cards back on the table. And now you're going to turn around and do some basic mind readings or some basic fishing to get the color of their card. So I like to do this very, very often. It's a very simple way to get the color of the card. You ask them to think of the color, and then you just look at them for a second and say, it wasn't a red card, was it? And you want to use those exact words. It wasn't a red card, was it? Now, what this does is it's sort of an open-ended question, and whichever answer they provide will lead you down a different path for your dialogue. If they say yes to that question, then you say, yeah, I was picking up on that. It was a red card, because then it sounds like you were picking up on the fact that it was red. But if the card was black and they answer no to that question, no, it wasn't a red card, then the previous statement makes perfect sense because you were saying it wasn't a red card, was it? And they say no, then it just makes sense. You say, yeah, no, I was picking up on the fact that it was black. As you can see, either of those answers will make sense depending on what the spectator says. So in this case, they will say yes to that because it was red. So all you know now is that it was a red card. And you could do some further fishing to guess whether it was hearts or diamonds. You could do this thing actually that I like to do. You ask them to think of the suit of their card and then to repeat it over and over in their head. And then all you're gonna do is name one of the red suits. So either hearts or diamonds. So you're gonna name, let's just do hearts. So you'll name hearts, 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 just like that. If they have a reaction to this, like if they smile or chuckle, then that means that they were thinking of a heart and it kind of seems like you were tapping into their mind to pick up on that. But if they have no reaction, in this case, they will have no reaction because their card was actually a diamond. So you say hearts, hearts, hearts. They have no reaction. They sort of just nod. They're like, okay, yeah, I get it. Then you know immediately that their card was a diamond. So all you have to do now is look through all the diamonds. But before you do that, you ask them to think of the value of their card. And now you're going to pretend like you're picking up on the value. So you just list all the values from ace to king, and you can sort of just guess where it is. You can say, oh, I think it might be somewhere in the middle, maybe somewhere on the higher end. And all I do now is I just look through the diamonds. I find my first diamond, ace in this case, and then I kind of just go backwards. So I go ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you see how all the diamonds are in sequence, and then it'll loop around to the front of the deck. So the next one I see is 7. So that's kind of the immediate answer right there. I know that the 6 is missing. 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, 6. Okay, so this is obviously going to be the one that's out of sequence. So there, I immediately know that their card was the 6 of diamonds. I now know what their card is, but before I pull it out, I'm going to do one more little thing with the mind reading, just to enforce the idea that this is what I'm actually doing and that I'm not just looking through the cards to find their card. Because even though that's what I just did, I want to prove to the spectator that I am trying to read their mind. So once I know that their card was the 6 of diamonds, I will stop for a second and say, okay, wait, one more time. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah, I already passed it, didn't I? And I'll stop, maybe 2 or 3 after their number. And then that will get a little reaction as well, because then it will seem like I actually did read their mind just then. And then it's more justified to go and find their card now, because now it seems like you actually did read their mind. And their card was the 6 of diamonds. So that's essentially the trick right there. And the best part about this is you can pretty freely show this deck of cards as shuffled. If you want to give it another shuffle before handing it out, it's fine. But this is a pretty mixed up deck of cards. There are some values that are next to each other. Whatever. It's pretty hard to see, honestly, especially if you're performing this to a non-magician. They're not really gonna notice anything. Yeah, that is the trick, guys. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this one. It's a really fun trick, in my opinion. I think it gets great reactions, and it does look very, very fair. It's very fooling. So yeah, have fun performing this one, guys, and see you guys next time. Bye.